Hi,
Hi, good afternoon.
you look lovely.
Thank you
Hi,
so much. I'm Tamera Carter. So nice to meet you.
Sarah. Nice to see you.
So we can go ahead and just get started. I don't want to keep you too long.
Okay, sure. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm a recent graduate of Ohio State. My degree is in mass communications. For the past 3 summers now, I've been connected with Laura and the GALvanize program. I've been able to do some NFL rookie camps, which have been a really cool experience. I enjoy that a lot. And now I get to meet with you, which I'm
Oh,
super
okay.
excited for.
Great. That's great. So what do
So
you want to do?
I think that, so I love being on camera and hosting and reporting, of course, and getting to meet not only athletes, but just so many cool people. But ultimately, down the road, I would love to do foundation work and community
Really?
relations.
Okay. All right. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Alrighty, so there's so many questions I have for you. Of course, being an aspiring reporter, but I think we're going to focus more so on the who part. And
But you can ask me
so, do you have any advice as
anything
a
you want. I know there's supposed to be parameters, but just ask me anything you want.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, okay, well, we'll start with this one. Do you have any advice for a young Black woman aspiring reporter trying to break out?
Yeah, it's advice I give a lot of people. It's the same advice, and it is just have an open mind about, where you can get a job. That's what's important. Don't be afraid to go to a small market. You have to do what you have to do, but you have to stand out at this
Mhm.
stage, especially coming out of college. I'm not sure what you've been able to do internship wise, or things like that, but it's just important to stay ahead, stay on top of things, and just be creative, especially in the environment that younger people have with social media and how that works. And you really have to try to be aggressive and stay true to yourself and keep your eye on the prize.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you've spent decades on TV and
Hmm.
you've become a familiar household name, but what is something that most people don't know about you? Like, what can I not Google about Pam?
Well, so much of what you Google is incorrect and inaccurate, but you
Oh,
can't really Google the stuff that I keep close to the vest. The things I like to do and to, I read a lot. I don't really share, my book lists or anything like that. So stuff that I feel is a little too personal that people don't really need to know or should know. We all have our things that we just love and you just want to. So, my personal side, my personal life. My husband, his name is out there, but you won't know the names of, my stepkids or anything like that because that's, they didn't ask for any of that. And so we just kind of, because I'm low key and private, kind of off the grid a lot. A lot of people say because I just want something that's for me, that's not for public consumption, and that's how I go about it. It's keeping some things just for me.
so the Galvanize series is called The Who Not Do, and a lot of people refer to you as a pioneer. But what do you want to be celebrated as and remembered as?
Just somebody who was true to the profession. I've always loved reporting. I didn't have, an agenda about being some sort of star or, wanting to just be out there and have stories be about me. I've always just kind of loved the journalism aspect of it. And I would hope when all is said and done is that people kind of respected A, my longevity, and B, what enabled me to have that longevity. And I think that's just always trying to be better, do better, and just be a really good reporter.
Mhm.
That's it.
So you recently lost one of your
Yep.
best friends,
You're
your
freezing
sister,
a bit.
and and I've recently lost one of mine,
Mhm.
my grandmother. And something that helps me get through is thinking of all the wonderful memories that we shared. So, do you have a special or favorite memory with your sister?
Well, we were always cut ups, you know, we were always doing something we had no business doing. Growing up, she was really kind of, she thought she was our mother. I have um, a middle sister too. So my oldest sister, Jackie, she was 5 years older, but you would think she was like 15 years older because she was always, you know, bossing us around. And so some of my favorite memories are when I started to rebel and didn't accept her bossy, you know, or Miss Bossy Pants. So I started to rebel, and then she had to respect it because she saw that, you know, that I was serious and I wasn't going to do dishes just because she said do dishes. So that was a real turning point in our relationship too. You know, she was just a lot of fun. She was really dedicated to her family, and you know, you'll never stop missing her. But I'm sorry for your loss as well. I know that's not easy,
Thank you.
but it's, you know, I have a picture of her in my little reading nook, and I'll just look up sometimes and go, hey girl, how you doing with your cute little hat on? Just things like that that just help me keep up some sort of communication with her. You know, I know she's always watching. She's my biggest fan. She always sort of guided me through so many things. My mother died probably 15 years before my sister did. So my sister filled a lot of that void, the things you want to, you know, talk to your mom about, or, you know, help, you wish she could guide you through. My sister did that. Yeah.
So, how important was the HBCU experience to you?
It was fantastic. It's something that I felt like I needed in my life. I didn't necessarily want to go to a large school growing up. I lived in predominantly white situations where we're on Air Force bases, and I was always one of, you know, a handful of Black people. And I felt at that particular time I wanted to experience just being, you know, in a Black setting, and, you know, having people like me and who look like me and who, you know, in a lot of cases thought like I did. So um, being able to, you know, have a track scholarship too, that played a part in it. But it just rounded me in such a way that that I felt like I needed at that point, that I didn't want to live in this world that wasn't really how the world was, you know, predominantly, you know, white situations and lifestyle. And so I just felt like, you know, being with my people is what I wanted at that particular time in my life. And it was just it was a great decision, and just so valuable to who I ultimately became.
So, you've gotten to do so many cool things, but is there an event or a story that you have not yet covered that one day you hope to?
I haven't done an Olympics ever.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was always at places that, you know, didn't cover the Olympics. I've been at Fox for so long; they don't cover the Olympics. They don't have any vested interest in it in terms of rights holder things, and that is just something I wish would have happened. And who knows? You never know. It just might in some form or fashion. You know, whether it's on my end or creating some situations that will enable me to cover an Olympics. But when Olympic time is around, I'm glued to my television. I just love it. I just, you know, what these athlete stories, and I just think that's as good as it gets in terms of that.
Do you watch a lot of the track
Oh
events?
my God, I watch track, I watch gymnastics, I watch swimming.
Mhm.
Those are my favorites. And then I just end up watching some random shot put competition.
Yeah.
Because you're just going along and there it is. You're like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But just knowing what athletes go through to get where they are, and the dedication that's required, and how they, you know, have set their sights on this for so long, and to see them in that Olympic setting and to be able to compete, it's just really heartwarming.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah, I grew up running track as well. So I love watching Allison fit.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes. She's amazing.
So how do you define success?
To me, success is just being well-rounded and being, a good citizen of the world. It's not about, how many years I've been able to do this or how many awards I've collected. It's just more about caring about the world beyond your little nook. It's about, with everything that's going on in this country and in the world right now. I've It's really, really impacted me from a standpoint of just it's so tough. It's so hard. The trickle effect. You watch the news, and that's starting to crush me a little bit too much. And I want to turn it off, but at the same time, I feel like there's too much information that you need to know. So that's kind of been difficult for me. But success to me just means what kind of person you've been, how you've treated people, um, when through good and bad, and just caring, just being a caring, loving person, as much as you can, and being a person of faith, and trying to walk the walk and falling off the path and getting back on the path. But getting back on the path is, one of those successes, those little daily successes that you hope for.
So you seem to have such a positive outlook on life. Do you have a favorite quote or motto that you live by?
It's by Eleanor Roosevelt. Nobody can make you feel bad about yourself without your permission. And that comes from being in a visual medium and people just knocking you for this or that. And social media, especially, is why I barely partake in social media. I just got on Facebook and don't even know how to navigate it. I'm just like, what? What's this little, what does, 20 people, what does that mean? Do I accept everybody? I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So, just kind of going through that. But that just goes to what kind of self-esteem you need to build, and just goes for you too. In this profession where people just love to knock you down in, whatever form or fashion they feel fit for that day. And I always wonder about those people and kind of pray for those people that, whatever's going on in your life, that you feel like you've got to do that. That makes me sad and angry and a whole lot of other things. And another one is Aristotle. I'm so sorry, it just flew out of my head. Totally flew out of my head. It's about excellence. You are what you repeatedly do. Excellence then is a habit, not an act. So that just goes to how you can strive for excellence. I love everything about excellence, and it just feels like I rarely attain it, but it's just my goal. I just love everything about striving for that. Oprah talks a lot about excellence, and we throw the word around, oh, that was excellent, that was excellent. But that quote is something that has always resonated with me, and it's what you strive for. You may not reach it all the time, but, it's just something you just try to strive for.